So if you're Klopp,
Yeah,
if you're Klopp, you're looking at two things. You're going, you know what? The boys have been fantastic. We basically got to the four finals. We got to. How do we take the next step? And then the next step will be, you know what? We never scored a goal in the final. So then the next step is, well, how do we change that? Then we go back to Craig's point about, is it because we're so good with a front three that I've got a lot of movement and nobody stands in one particular position? Is that the way to go? Do we stay that way? Is that the reason why we didn't score? Or are we going to score if we go and get a centre forward? If we go and try and get Lewandowski for a couple of years? Or go and pay silly money for a Harry Kane? So that's where Klopp is. Great season. Nobody can say it wasn't. But how do we take the next step?
It's crazy. I think 4 defeats in 63 games for Liverpool.
I think it's been a great season defined by a bad result at the end. I mean, you can't criticise them for falling short just of Man City. Bearing in mind they were off the pace for a while and then they closed them down. A very, very good, a great season defined by a bad result in Paris. But I would be slightly concerned because the stories coming out prior to this game were of one or two of these key players leaving. Sadio Mane to Bayern Munich, and potentially Mo Salah. So there is always a concern at the end of the year. It's not just about bringing in a big hitter, it's about who can we keep.
Yeah.
And those headlines that were coming out, Klopp wasn't, he wasn't batting them away as nonsense, he's just batting them away as, listen, we'll talk about it and deal with it after the Champions League final. But that's a little concerning that it's still going to be a big job for Liverpool to keep this unit together.
Yeah. It's a great season, but it's also what could have been and what might have been. And I can't help it, as players ourselves, that you always think of those things that you came up just short.
Right. That's what you go to first.
Correct. I mean, I don't, quite frankly, not that I sit back and look at my career fondly, but when I do, the things that come up are the things that you could have done,
right,
and that you came up just short. And I can only speak of my experiences, but not going to a World Cup, missing out on that, and being short of doing that. So I have to imagine that if you're a player in that locker room, you're not thinking, man, it was a great season. We won FA Cup, we won Carabao Cup. You're thinking, my goodness, this could have been special.
Right.
And we play well, and we're proud of ourselves, and we feel good about ourselves, but there is something that we left on the table, and it was the two main dishes. It was the two really important ones that we came up short on, and that's something that I think is going to linger.
But that's what makes the best teams, though.
Yeah.
Because they don't...
Because they build on that.
Yes, they don't... They're not going, I'll just go home and get the Duraglit out and shine up me Carabao Cup.
The jury what?
Duraglit?
What's that?
He doesn't know himself. His wife's birth.
You polish silver with it. Pardon? You polish silver with it.
And when did you become a silver polisher?
Let me tell you something, right? A few moons ago, I was in a thing called the Boys Brigade. So we had all the uniform, you had to polish all the silver.
Right.
I'm just going to Google who polishes silver in Connecticut.
It's unbelievable. He's giving it all that.
There's a guy in Burley.
Just because you don't know what it is.
No one else does.
Well, that just tells you how ignorant you all are. Anyway, they don't think about the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. It's exactly what you're saying.
So what was the biggest surprise tonight? The biggest surprise was that Real Madrid winning, or was it how angry Robbo was on the show?
That was fun.
By the way, Real Madrid were magnificent.
Oh, yeah, I think that's not the last time we're going to discuss that.
It's a good job his mic wasn't working.
Seriously.
Real Madrid, of course, need a lot of, what's it, Duraglit? Duraglit in their trophy cabinet, of course. Given that they've been so successful, they've won the last 8 Champions League finals. Carlo Ancelotti, of course, regarded by many now as one of the greatest ever managers, and you take a look at this and it's very hard really to argue against that. It's 4 European Cup titles now for Ancelotti, superseding Zidane and the great Bob Paisley.
Is that called a project? We just could tell Kylian Mbappe.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.